Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is May 9th, 2022. Now I'm going to cover the death of the former Michigan State Spartans forward, Adreian Payne, who passed away at the age of 31 today. And, I've covered a lot of murder by number rituals before, but this is probably top 5, one of the most disturbing cases that I've ever had to cover. I think so. This is probably, this is up there in the top 5. And I've covered I cover deaths every single day, but it don't get more disturbing than this one. So this is what happened to the Michigan State star, Adreian Payne. So according to TMZ, they're saying that he was shot and killed in Florida early this morning, and he died right away. He was announced dead at the scene. And they're saying that this guy here, Lawrence Doherty, was the killer. And so I guess this is still a developing story, but it says here that police tell TMZ Sports Payne was shot and killed early Monday morning in Florida. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, officers responded to a report of a shooting at around 1:37 a.m. and discovered Payne suffering from a gunshot wound. Cops say Payne was transported to a hospital but later died there. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office says 29-year-old Lawrence Doherty was identified as the shooter and was ultimately arrested on a warrant for first-degree murder. Okay. So they're saying this is the killer here. And this is the victim. So, the reason I find this disturbing is not because this guy got shot, but it's because I learned that back in 2014, he was a real close friend with this young girl here, Lacey Holsworth, who was 8 years old. She was a young girl who suffered from cancer, and her and Adreian Payne became close friends during his college career at Michigan State. And even though this little girl was 8 years old, it seems to be her case seems to be a ritual sacrifice as well, because she died back in 2014 at the age of 8. And her death seems to be connected to the death of Adreian Payne. It's just amazing how they was able to sync up their deaths together. Notice how old Adreian Payne, he was 31. And the young girl was 8 years old. Their deaths are exactly 8 years and 31 days apart. Like how the girl died at 8 and he ended up dying at 31. But that's not everything. We're gonna talk about all the numbers. But the reason I say this is disturbing is because they're sacrificing 8-year-olds for this sick game. And, these people here on Good Morning America, it's like they're so obvious that they know what's going on, and the way they're able to speak about it, and it's just like it doesn't bother them. It's just like, oh well, It's just, oh man, another blood sacrifice. They're so calm, discussing it, and they're mocking the people. I'm gonna play this video here, but I'm not gonna show you the actual footage because I might get a copyright strike from ABC News. But I'll definitely play the audio so you can just listen to these scumbags. These people are like, oh my gosh. Actually, I'll do that now, and then we'll get into the decode.
I want to share with you a college basketball star and a little girl. He is leading his team into madness tonight into the Sweet 16. She is battling a rare and advanced form of cancer, and through it all, they are best friends.
On the court. Payne again!
He is as talented and as fierce a player as any in the madness of March, in the heart of the Michigan State Spartans. While off the court, Adreian Payne is almost 7 feet of gentle giant, sprung from a storybook.
He's just a really nice brother, and I like it when he picks me up. It just makes me feel happy and safe.
8-year-old Lacey Holsworth has another name for him, though.
Superman. Because he flies high, he dunks, and he busts down walls. And he's my Superman.
And to Payne, she is Princess Lacey.
I love her, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to her. She's always going to be a part of my life.
Their unlikely friendship began 2 years ago when Lacey was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, a form of childhood cancer that attacks the nervous system. Payne and his team visited her in the hospital.
Adreian playing with her and stuff was the first time she really, truly smiled and I think felt a little bit of joy.
She is certainly his biggest little fan.
She always texts me and, wish me luck and tell me to get some dunks and shoot some three-pointers for her.
And he's become a fixture in the Holsworth home.
We like to play games together, and we like to color and stuff, and I make him brownies.
Just her brother, just as if he just walked into our family that day and stayed.
Payne's coach Tom Izzo described the bond of player and princess in an interview with The Journey on the Big Ten Network.
This past year, she was back in the hospital, and I knew he was a little down about it, and things were looking kind of not very good. And so I said, "AP, I'll go down there with you." And we were on our way down there, and he wanted to get her something. He bought her this stuffed animal.
When I came in, I was just, terrified, what's going on.
As I sat there, watched AP sitting on the bed with her, and the mother kept saying AP, and she turned, and her eyes opened for the first time in a couple days, I guess. Her world was better.
At Payne's senior night ceremony, Lacey was his special guest.
I'd like to thank Lacey's family, and everybody for, coming out and supporting me, and, just praying for Lacey because she's going through some hard times.
And on March 16th, Payne would lead the Spartans to the Big Ten tournament title and give Lacey the honor of helping to cut down the net.
That was fun.
You ever been that high?
I don't think so.
I'm going to be sad that he's leaving, proud of him as a player, and maybe even prouder of him as a person.
Good luck, I love you.
Me too.
Lacey's family has raised more than $30,000 of its $50,000 goal. 71 days to go. And if you want to find out more about the effort to help her, you can go to our website, goodmorningamerica.com, on Yahoo, as she continues to fight the good fight. And Adreian Payne and his Michigan.
You can't get enough of hearing that there are truly fantastic, giving, phenomenal people in this world.
As wonderful a person as he is a player, I might add.
Unbelievable, man. Okay, so before we get into showing all the connections he has with Princess Lacey, notice her name is 59, like how today is 5'9", and today he was announced dead, right? His name is also 59. But let's just talk about who this guy is and why was he shot down on May 9th. So he was born Adreian Payne. His middle name is D'Angelo. And he played for 4 different teams. He spent most of his career with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And he spent his last season playing for the Orlando Magic. Now, they're saying that he died in Orlando after he was shot by the guy that I showed you guys in the beginning of the video. Now, you see up here, he was born on February 19th, 1991. He died 79 days after his 31st birthday. And we know what 79 represents, right? The Society of Jesus, of course, murder. And in this case, he also died in Orlando, which is also another 79 name. But, the thing that stands out today about today's date, May 9th, 2022, is that today's a day with 56 numerology. and he died 79 days after his birthday, the number that connects to the Society of Jesus. Now, if you notice up here, it says that he played 107 games. And Gematria's shooting is 107. And you guys heard the little girl said that she refers to him as Superman. Superman, right? Superman is 107 and 109. Look at shooting. 107 and 109. So Superman ends up a victim of a shooting. The guy who played 107 games during his professional NBA career. And like I said, his name is Adreian Payne. Name is 59. He dies on 5/9. And he was born Adreian D'Angelo Payne. And his full name equals 95, like how today's date can also be written 9/5, like 95, right? Now, Lacey Holsworth. And, this is just crazy. Like I said in the beginning of the video, their deaths are exactly 8 years and 31 days apart. Lacey, the little girl, she died at the age of 8, and Adreian Payne died at the age of 31. So just ask yourself, what are the odds that happened? The girl dies at 8, he dies at 31, and their deaths are exactly 8 years and 31 days apart. I mean, like, for those of you who continue to troll my comment section, like, what do you think about that? Honestly, do you think that's a coincidence? Like, come on, this stuff is sick. They're murdering 8-year-olds, and you guys are just sitting back, writing the stupid comments in the comment section instead of embracing this information and uniting and doing something about it. You think this is okay? And the way they mock us is like, oh my gosh. But this is the day that she died. She died on April 8th, on 4/8, and she was born on November 30th, 2005. Ask yourself, why is this 31-year-old, well, he wasn't 31 at that time, but why is this college player so close to this young girl? Why? Does he really care that? Because are they like what does let's see, how old was he? 8 years ago. 8 years ago he was probably like 23. So what can a 23-year-old basketball player have in common with an 8-year-old? I mean, what are they gonna talk about? Because supposedly they became best friends. I know a lot of you are like, oh no, he did it because he has cancer. He felt. I mean. Okay, if a little girl has cancer, I mean, what are you gonna do becoming her? Like, what are you gonna do becoming her friend? Like, are you gonna get rid of the cancer by becoming her best friend? I don't understand. How does a 23-year-old and an 8-year-old become close friends? How does the parents even allow that? Like if my 8-year-old says, "Oh, Dad, I want this 23-year-old to be my best friend," like. I'm gonna feel uncomfortable with that. Like, for what reason? What reason does this 23-year-old want to hang out with my 8-year-old daughter? Like, it's just weird, really. But look, she was born November 30th, 2005, and she died on April 8th, 2014. Now, April 8th is written 4/8, like 48, and supposedly she was suffering from neuroblastoma, which equals 48, and she died on 4/8, right? Her surname is also 48. But this is the kicker here, though. Notice from her 8th birthday, which was on November 30th, 2013, to the day that she died on April 8th, she died 129 days after her birthday. Now in Gematria, Michigan State equals 129, and guess who ended up dying on the 129th day of the year? Adreian Payne. Today, May 9th, is the 129th day of the year. So the little girl dies 129 days after her birthday. She dies 129 days after her birthday, and Mr. Adreian Payne dies on the 129th day of the year. Now, is that a coincidence too? Wow. And then her cause of death equals 48, like her surname. She dies on 4/8. And how old was she? She was 8 years old. Notice MSU equals 8. Right? It stands for Michigan State University. Notice what it says here. During his time at Michigan State, he was also known for his friendship with an 8-year-old girl, Lacey Holsworth, who was battling neuroblastoma. She helped him cut down the net after the Spartans won the Big Ten basketball tournament, and she passed away on April 8th, 2014. Yeah, a 23-year-old just becomes best friends with an 8-year-old. Strange world. But again, they refer to her as Princess Lacey, which equals 59 like Adreian Payne. And on 5/9, the 129th day of the year, Mr. Adreian Payne is reported dead after being shot down at the age of 31. 31 days after the 8-year anniversary since the little girl's death. And keep in mind, he played for Minnesota. And look what number he wore as a player. Minnesota's 38 like Florida. Of course, death, murder, killing, R.I.P. all 38. And you know what else? His name has that 67 Gematria, which is the blood sacrifice number. Her name also has a 67 numerology. And when he played in Michigan State, he played with Draymond Green. And he died on Draymond Green's 67th day of his age. And today, the Golden State Warriors are playing the Memphis Grizzlies. So I will look out for what Draymond Green does today on the basketball court. Right? Because these two were teammates, him and Adreian Payne. But again, on the 56-day numerology, 79 days after his birthday, this man is reported dead. And just think about what 59 represents when it comes to black people, right? Negro, Rasta, slave, blues, all 59. The word kill is also 59. The name Adreian Payne is also 113, like the National Basketball Association. Names like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Steve Nash, Doc Rivers, they all equal 113. Big basketball number. Also the number of deception. But, I can't prove whether or not, I don't know if these people are dead, both of these people. Or are they alive? I don't know. But if they are dead, isn't that sick? They murdered an 8-year-old little girl and a young guy, a 31-year-old basketball player with his whole life ahead of him. Just for what? Like the song said, they murder people always by the numbers, sacrifice day and night to Big Brother. This stuff is sick, man. Bam. And you know what? She died from cancer. You see how shooting is 44? Cancer is 44. So both of their causes of death has that 44-37 value. Again, one died 129 days from their birthday. The other one died on the 129th day of the year. Superman is 107 and 109 like shooting. And that was his nickname that she had for him. Oh, man, yeah, this is definitely top 5. I covered a lot of sick rituals, but this is definitely up there with the George Floyds and the Kobe Bryant's. Kobe Bryant died with a 13-year-old daughter next to him, supposedly. Whenever they involve kids, that's when it becomes a little too, But again, it's a possibility that people are faking their deaths, but there's also a possibility they really are dying. So, man. Look at the score, 34-46, the sacrifice number and the murder numbers. Is that the reason they stopped it at that time? Because that little girl, she died on the phone on 46-day numerology as well, with the sacrifice number. Yeah, but this guy that they're blaming the shooting on, this guy had nothing to do with it, you guys. This is the Society of Jesus work, right? That's why Lawrence Doherty probably equals 172. I never know how to spell this at Merriam Glorium. I always spelled it. I always spelled it wrong. Yeah, this is how you spell it. You know, the Jesuit motto is 172. Just like the shooter's name. His name is 73, like sacrifice, and 206, like, isn't sacrifice 206? It is. So his name is 73 and 206, like sacrifice. Lawrence Doherty. I don't know. You know, I might be mistaken about that. Maybe you guys will allow your 8-year-old to be best friends with a 23-year-old basketball player. But, you know, usually an 8-year-old, they're focused on something else, you know, not focused on a basketball player. I just said, well, when you was 8, did you want to be friends with a basketball player? Probably not. Probably wanted to play with your dolls, you know, or your action figure. So Tom Izzo, that was the guy that he also spoke in that video that I played. I should have mentioned from his birthday. He was the coach at that time. And notice he's 67 years old right now. He was born on January 30th. On 1/30, like human sacrifice. Today is 99 days after his birthday. And you know, today's the day with 20 numerology, right? Death, 20. But I guess we could leave it there. Just rest in peace to both of these people. Shit is unbelievable what they're doing. I appreciate that, Kathy. Thank you so much. Thank you. How you doing, Dan? Dan, Numerical Lion. That's funny. Somebody says that Adreian Payne scored his first points in the NBA against the Milwaukee Bucks. Are we gonna see a Golden State Warriors Bucks NBA Finals? Maybe. Yep. So I'll leave it there. The guy was 107 kilograms. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, everybody. Rest in peace to Adreian Payne and Lacey Holsworth.